So we're going to begin at the front of our mats. And I want you to stand about shoulder width apart, relaxing your shoulders down, standing big and tall. Hands out to your side with your palms facing forward. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to notice our breath. We're going to begin to notice the rhythm of our breath. We're going to do our best to stay with this rhythm throughout this practice, because throughout this practice we want to link our movements to our breathing. So essentially with each movement that we make, we're either going to take an inhale or an exhale. If that doesn't really make sense right now, I think it will once we get started. So let's just get into it. Again, standing about shoulder width apart, shoulders are relaxed down, hands out to our sides, palms facing forward. Really feeling the mat underneath your feet, really grounding into your foundation. Then we're going to inhale and raise our hands above our head, looking up. Allow the palms to touch overhead. If you need to bend your elbows in order for that to happen, that's okay. Then we'll exhale and forward fold by hinging at the hips. We're going to allow our palms to come to the mat. If you need to bend your knees in order for your palms to come to the mat, that is totally fine. From here, we'll inhale and lift up halfway, trying to make our back as flat as possible. We don't want to have our shoulders hiked up, but we want to roll them down and back and really bring length to the spine. And we're looking forward. We'll exhale, palms come back down to the mat. And here you have your first choice. So we're going to go back into a plank position from here, and you can either step back into the plank position, or if you're feeling comfortable, if you're feeling adventurous, you can hop back into the plank position. In this plank position, we don't want to sink down into our shoulders. We want to lift out of our shoulders. And from here, we're going to exhale, lower down almost all the way to the mat, but not quite. And then inhale, lift up into upward facing dog. From here, we'll exhale into downward facing dog. We're going to be in downward facing dog for 3 to 5 breaths. In downward dog, feel free to pedal your feet if it feels right. Or bring any other kind of gentle movement to your body. If your body naturally wants to move in a certain way, then allow it to do that. And you can also be completely still if that's what you want to do. Wherever you are, at the end of your 3rd or 5th breath, at that exhale, I want you to look up in between your hands. Inhale, and we have another choice. So we can either step back to the front of our mat, or just like how we hopped back before, you can hop back to the front of your mat. Exhale, palms rest on the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Shoulders roll down and back, looking forward. Exhale, palms come down to our mat once again. This time, when we inhale, we're going to lift up all the way. Allow our hands to meet overhead once more. Bend your elbows if you need to. And exhale. Allow your hands to come out to your sides. And that's it. That's the entire thing. That's the Sun Salutation A. Maybe right now the plank or the upward facing dog or the downward facing dog is a little bit too much for you. Does that mean that you can't do Sun Salutations? Of course not. I got you. I'll show you a couple modifications that you can do, if you're having some difficulty with a few of the poses right now. So again, we'll meet standing about shoulder width apart, palms out to our sides, shoulders relaxed down. Inhale, hands come above our head, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Allow the palms to touch the mat, bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, lift up halfway. Really long spine. Exhale, palms come back down to our mat. Instead of stepping or hopping back, we're going to walk back into a plank just for a second, and then we're going to lower down to our knees. From here, we'll exhale, and we're going to lower down all the way to the mat. We're going to inhale, do a slight back bend in the upper back for baby cobra. Push your palms down into the mat to help you get in this position, but you don't have to crank. Just come as far as is comfortable for you. Exhale, come back down to the mat. And from here, we're going to lift back into downward facing dog. I know what you're thinking. You said, Michael, you said I didn't have to be in downward facing dog, and you're right. So instead of downward dog, come down to your knees. We're going to be in tabletop position for these 3 to 5 breaths this time instead of downward facing dog. And the same rules apply here. So you can maybe do some cat-cows, linking your breath to your movement. Maybe you just sway side to side, or whatever feels right to you. Or maybe you're completely still. But try to push up. Again, don't sink down into your shoulder joints, but push out and support your weight. And after your 3rd or 5th exhale, you're going to lift back up into downward facing dog just for a second. Inhale, look in between your hands, and we're going to walk back up to the front of our mat. Exhale, palms touch the mat, bend your knees if you need to. And we'll inhale, lift up halfway, shoulders down and back, looking forward. Exhale, palms come back down to the mat. Then we'll inhale, raising up all the way until our palms meet overhead. Once again, bend your elbows if you need to. And exhale and allow your palms to come back down to your sides. Beautiful. So let's just do it one more time. This time, go at your own pace. Make whatever choices you want to make, whether you want to do downward facing dog or tabletop. And just notice how you feel. So starting at the front of our mat, we'll inhale, hands come above our head, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Allow the palms to touch the mat, bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, lift up halfway, looking forward, flat back. Exhale, palms come back down to the mat. You can walk, you can step, or you can hop back into plank. Exhale, lift up into upward facing dog or baby cobra. From here, we'll lift up, exhale, and lift up into downward facing dog or tabletop position. We're going to take 3 to 5 long breaths here. And after your last exhale, we'll inhale, look up in between our hands. You can step, walk, or hop back to the front of your mat. Exhale, palms are laying flat on the mat. Inhale, raise up halfway. Long spine looking forward. Exhale, palms come back down to the mat. We're going to inhale, hinging at our hips, raising all the way back up. Palms meet overhead. Bend your elbows if you need to. And exhale, and bring your hands back down to your sides. I want you to just take a second here and notice how you feel. Notice if there are any sensations in your body. Notice if your energy feels any different. Notice if you feel different now than you did before we started. And just enjoy this moment. And then I want you to congratulate yourself for successfully learning a Sun Salutation. And Sun Salutations are really powerful movements. I know they seem simple, but if you just do maybe 3 to 5 of these every day. I think it'll have a profound effect on your body and your mind. If Sun Salutations are all of the yoga you ever do, I really think that'll be enough. So, hope you learned something. I hope this served you. Thank you for practicing with me. Until we meet again.